Good evening, everyone. It is 5:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the Board of Health meeting to order. And if you would all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Greg, would you take the roll?
Councilmember McIntyre.
Here.
Councilmember Reed.
Here.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Here.
Councilmember Cavanagh.
Here.
Councilmember Galloway.
Here.
Approve the minutes for meeting number 5 on October 1st, 2024 as presented. Recommendation, approve the minutes.
Is there a motion to approve?
So move the recommendation.
Second.
Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilmember Reed.
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh.
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
This is the time, place, and date set to consider condemnation of the structures on the property located at 424 Waverly in the city of Ottumwa, Wapello County, Iowa.
Okay, I will open the public hearing for comments, and Zach, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. The structure located at 424 Waverly was placarded January 1, 2024. Placarded due to poor living conditions, lack of utilities, and dilapidation. A couple of these files tonight have been really frustrating for the duration, and this is one of them. As it's been open, we've had to deal with a lot of other code violations. We've had to deal with junk motor vehicles, people squatting in the house being left open to the elements, outdoor nuisances. We've had to mow the grass for the duration of the file. We've also had to perform nuisance abatement cleanups to this property. The condemnation notice for all three of these tonight was served by certified mail posting on the property and publication. Our recommendation would be to condemn the property.
Any questions for Mr. Simonson?
Any communications with the owner?
I do think there's been some communication during the duration of the file, but there hasn't been progress or repair plan that's been followed up on or anything like that.
No response at all. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the council before I ask if anyone wants to speak from the public? Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak on this matter? Okay. Last chance for the council to comment or ask questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close. I'll second it.
Chris, would you take the roll?
Councilmember McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilmember Reed.
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh.
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
Condemn the structures located at 424 Waverly, order prompt demolition, removal, and leveling of the lot, and direct all costs attendant to such actions, including administrative costs, to be assessed against the property and or collected from the owner or owners thereof. Recommendation, approve the condemnation of the structures located at 424 Waverly.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve. Second.
Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilmember Reed.
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh.
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
This is the time, place, and date set to consider condemnation of the structures on the property located at 642 South Milner in the city of Ottumwa, Wapello County, Iowa.
And I would open the public hearing for comments, and Zach, I'll send it to you again.
Thank you. The structure at 642 South Milner was placarded April 11th due to poor living conditions, lack of utilities, and dilapidated condition of the property. This one we've also had to be at quite a bit during the course of this file. We've had a lot of issues with people disregarding the rules of the placard, junk motor vehicles. We've had to mow tall grass. We've had to do nuisance abatement cleanups. We had an issue where they brought in a camper and deconstructed it all across the front yard. We've had a lot of things we've dealt with, and the neighbors have had to deal with more, I'm sure. Some of them are here tonight, and I think they do want to speak on it. Our recommendation is to condemn this one. There's been some contact with the owner throughout on this one. There's been some attempts at repair, but they were not done in a workmanlike manner. They weren't. The most recent communication we've had indicates that they are prepared to accept the condemnation. They might attempt to demolish the property themselves. With the track record we've seen, what we'd like to do is they'll be issued the 30-day notice to take out their belongings. If they initiate their own demolition in that 30 days, we wouldn't contract a demolition, but we're not very optimistic that's actually going to happen. So we do want to proceed with the condemnation.
Great. Any questions?
How do they deal with shutting off utilities, gas and electric and all that? If they're not qualified themselves?
Yeah, so a homeowner is permitted by the law to attempt their own electrical and plumbing work. And the inspector has to in a way supervise that. That's frustrating when people are very far away from qualified. And we do have to do quite a bit of handholding in those cases. But, you know, sometimes utilities are shut off just for non-payment, things like that. Those get remedied a little bit easier. But there are persistent issues in a lot of things with this. As you can see from the photos, the condition's pretty rough.
Yes. Thank you.
Other questions from the council? Are there members of the public who would like to come up and speak? And if so, please approach the podium, state your name and address, and then your comments.
My name's John Malone. I live at 702 South Milner.
Thank you.
This property is awful. I wouldn't wish it on none of you, I'm telling you. We've seen it all. They go outside and take a leak. Excuse me. The grandkids are there. They see it all. They come running. You know, you want to go over there and whip up a little bit on them. I'm too old now. But it's really bad. It's been bad. They've been arrested umpteen many times. I don't know how many, but I'm telling you right now, I could fill this page and some more. And I hate to call them because they're doing other things and of course, you know, you think, hey, when you call the police officer, they should be right there. Sometimes it don't work out that way. And, but this is, I mean, tell you, you just wouldn't believe, you think it's a scrap yard and the rodents are around and they're out there, smoking their pipes. And they just blow it up in there and scream and holler and carry on, you know. And it's really sad to see them, and I know that the kids able to work because I see them carrying lumber here and there. And you should just go out and get a job and not live like this.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. So, and Terry's here and a couple more, and they want me to speak for them. I don't know what else I can say except for, you know, put the boots to them.
Say that again, I'm sorry. What was that last comment?
Put the boots to them.
Put the boots to them. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Any other comments from people in the public? Okay. Further comments or questions from the council? Zach, do you have anything further?
No.
So are they actually living there?
Uh,
Living there day in, day out?
So they are not supposed to be able to. The law is when the placard's put up, it's determined unfit for habitation, it's illegal to occupy. But we have had a lot of issues with overstaying the permission. The neighbors have reported people being there all night long. And the police department's done a good job of being responsive to those concerns.
Any further questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
Condemn the structures located at 642 South Milner, order prompt demolition, removal, and leveling of the lot, and direct all costs attendant to such actions, including administrative costs, to be assessed against the property and or collected from the owner or owners thereof. Recommendation: approve the condemnation of the structures located at 642 South Milner.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
This is the time, place, and date set to consider condemnation of the structures of a property located at 1550 Mabel in the city of Ottumwa, Wapello County, Iowa.
I would open the public hearing for comments. Zach?
Thank you. The property at 1550 Maple was placarded June 30th of 2002. It's transferred ownership a couple of times during the duration of the file, and that accounts for the amount of time it's been open. We do try to give new owners an attempt at a repair plan and things like that. In this case, there's been no repair plan submitted by the current owners. They've never sought or obtained any permission to be on the property or to make any progress on the property. And during their ownership, we haven't really seen any progress at all. It's been left open to the elements. The condition continues to get worse, and they've not made any of the inspection appointments that we've tried to set up.
Questions or comments from the council?
Zach's starting to do a pretty good job. He answers all my questions before I get there.
Perfect. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment or during this time? Okay. And any further questions or comments from the council? Zach, do you have anything else?
No.
Okay, if not, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes.
Condemned structures located at 1550 Mabel, order prompt demolition, removal, and removal of a lot, and direct all costs attendant to such actions, including administrative costs, to be assessed against the property and or collected from the owner or owners thereof. Recommendation: approve the condemnation of the structures located at 1550 Mabel.
Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes. Is there a motion to adjourn the Board of Health meeting?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway.
Yes. Ready?
Councilmember McIntyre, Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes. Here.
Councilmember Reed,
Here.
Councilmember Galloway,
Here.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Here.
Moving on, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I would like to make a motion that we pull number 7 out for special consideration.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Now we're voting to approve the consent agenda itself.
So now we'll vote to, or I need a motion to approve the consent agenda without item 7.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda without item 7.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
And then now we need to vote on the first one.
Okay. And then, do they?
So I'd have a few comments on item 7 if we're ready for that.
Yes, here.
Need motions first.
Yeah, we need a motion.
Motion, thank you. I need a motion to vote on number 7.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Now I pass it over to you, Councilperson Reed.
So this is the beer and liquor application for DG Market, the new store that's there on Mary Street, 616 West Mary. And I'm just concerned about the alcohol in our town, of course, and I was looking at the CDC comments about alcohol, and one of the things that they said is that alcohol use is a leading preventable cause of sickness and death in the United States. And said it's the most common substance of abuse among people that are 12 years of age and older. This is a new application. This is not a renewal. And it just seems like we have enough places to buy alcohol in this town. I was in the new DG Market there just to look around. And it's a very nice store. It's really a grocery store. You can get personal care products there, of course, and you can even get greeting cards and some things like that. But it's even has fresh meat and things like that. It has a lot of good things. in there, and, I just, was thinking that, I was looking again at the CDC, recommendations about alcohol, and one of the things that they said that, caused it, because it was so widely accessible and available, that's what caused many of the problems with alcohol. And that their recommendation was that municipalities pass policies and so on to make it less available and less affordable. And so I just thought, I know that there are people who suffer because of alcohol, and I just thought that we could bring this out for a little special consideration and thought.
Is there further comments?
I would comment that, irregardless of what the councilman has said, it is a legal right for these people to apply for a permit to sell alcohol. And therefore, if we're going to refrain from anybody getting a permit, that might be one thing, but at this point, I think we need to acknowledge they're applying for a legal application and should be allowed to have it.
And I agree that it's a legal application. But at what point, do we hit saturation? At what point, do we draw the line? And so that's a thought. And we just want to remember that there are people who suffer. I want all of our businesses to do well, but I don't want them to do it on the back of someone who's suffering. And since this new application came up here, I thought I would mention these things.
First off, I want to say people who suffer from addiction, my heart goes out to them and I want to do anything I can for them. So it has nothing to do with that. My concerns are, again, that those are still small businesses who are relying on us to take care of them. So although I understand where you're coming from and my heart goes out to people with addictions, and I want to help them all, we still have legal businesses. They're running a legal business. They're not, and so where would we draw the line? If we say that's an addiction, then do we start taking away caffeine? Do we start taking away sugar? Do we start taking away anything can be, and I'm not saying those addictions are anywhere near as serious as alcoholism or drugs, but the small businesses in this town rely on us to protect their interests as well. I don't think all businesses are out to make money on the backs of addicts. Because there are a lot of people who, I'm not a drinker myself, but there are a lot of people who socially use it. And you know what, I'm all for programs that support addictions. And like I said, I would firsthand help anybody with those addictions, but we still have to take care of our small business. As long as they're not involved in an illegal activity, there's no reason why, we shouldn't support our small businesses.
I would echo what Councilperson Hoffman said too. I think we also need to think about the precedent we would be setting by denying this tonight. And I mean, then there's other conversations because there were new applications at our last one too. So a new owner took over a business, but we didn't pull that one out and have that conversation then. And so so I think it goes to a further conversation of why are we just picking new applications, if that's the conversation that's going to be had. But I would agree with and echo what Councilperson Hoffman said too, of, we have a legal right to, the people have completed applications. If they've completed it correctly, done what they needed to for the state too, then we have, not an obligation, but I think that's something that we need to consider too. They've done what they needed to do and now we're approving it after they've done what they needed to do. Then it goes to the state for that approval, right? I'm asking you. Yeah, thank you. So, and I also think there's other programs in the community too that we can support to help maybe prevent addiction and support kids in understanding, like the DARE program that the chief office runs too. So,
Okay, thank you for the conversation.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Madam Mayor, Pro Tem,
Yes.
could I just interject and ask Chris to clarify the motion and second?
Yes.
For this one, the motion was made by Cavanis and seconded by Reed. Is that what you needed?
I think I want you to read what it says.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Was the motion to approve or the motion to vote on?
I believe it's a motion to approve it because they removed it from consent agenda to vote on separately.
Yeah, and I said to approve, we need to approve item 7, a motion to approve item 7.
I just want to clarify if Councilmember Reed, intended to second the motion to approve.
Well,
We would have to have a first and a second to discuss it, correct?
yeah, a second wouldn't necessarily dictate agreement with it, but would continue to conversation and discussion.
Sure, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further conversation or discussion? Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanis?
No,
Councilmember Reed?
No.
Councilmember Galloway?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2.
Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Councilmember McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanis?
yes,
Councilmember Reed?
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay, next on our agenda is administrator's report to the council. And Administrator, I'll hand it to you.
All right, thank you. So tonight I wanted to just briefly update on the comprehensive plan, specifically the guiding principle number 3, which is growth. Looking back, we are at projected 34% achievement in that area. We're on track with 68% of the goals. There has been some disruption, which could be a variety of things, resources, staff, finance, whatever it might be, on 25% of those, and have completed 7%. So we're trucking right along on that, and this is again the 20-year plan, so I think we're tracking pretty good there. Some of the highlights over the last year, completion of the on-site hotel at Bridgeview Center has enhanced the event hosting capabilities. We held a joint work session with Walpole County to explore incentive options for development opportunities. A partnership now with Revise to update the municipal website, and the engagement with retail strategies over the last couple of years has commenced for improved marketing efforts, including the ability to place Five Below and TJ Maxx in the retail strip mall. We're the overnight destination for Reg Ride 2024, which helped to elevate the ability for people across the state to see what's going on in Ottumwa. And public art installations have enhanced the Church Street district, and City Council has also approved the installation of standard concrete crosswalks in that area to help further the ability to beautify that area. Focuses for the next period, working on a draft policy for economic development incentives. Website redesign will be finalized in that period, and that would look to include an integration for an economic development landing page to help highlight some of the opportunities and areas for economic development and growth. Looking to research zoning codes for accessory dwelling units for single-family homes or accessory single-family structures. And looking to review subdivision requests or continue to do that for alignment with comprehensive plan and development requirements. So a lot of things just kind of carrying forward with that. And then looking to increase the possibility of public art in other areas and working with the Arts Council to look at that in affordable housing developments and other neighborhoods. So that is an update on growth, and you can find that on our website if you want any more information on that or other areas of the comprehensive plan. And then I just wanted to highlight and call attention, hopefully the Iowa DOT has gotten the information out. This Thursday, anytime between 5 and 6:30 p.m., they're holding a feedback session for the pending project of Highway 149 from the Des Moines River Bridge to West Woodland. And so that is a project that they're looking to do. If people aren't able to make that, they can also share their feedback online. And I believe we're gonna have, something out on our site as well to help, direct people to that link. And so either come here Thursday night, anytime between 5 and 6:30 to get more information and share your thoughts, or go to that link that will be provided. I would read it, but it is bit.ly, et cetera. So it's easier just to see it in print.
When you say here, you mean Bridgeview Center?
Yes, at Bridgeview Center, 102 Church Street.
Perfect, and that's the Iowa DOT.
Yes, the Iowa DOT. So we're hosting it for them, but it is their project. And that's all I have today.
Well, thank you. Any questions for the administrator tonight?
Yeah, I understand that there will be no presentation regarding this, issue. So where are we at if we attend and when we attend? What are we expected to do?
They will have maps of the project and there will be staff from DOT on site to answer questions. There may be like a very brief presentation from them just to highlight what the project is. But they will have an opportunity to kind of see what the project will look like and what the project plans are. So they'll have those laid out on tables and take any questions from the public.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Okay, moving on. Now is the time for if there are citizens desiring to comment on agenda items tonight. If you haven't already and you want to speak on agenda items to complete a form, they're over there by Mr. James Wheaton. And as we get to that item on the, or then you can bring them, set them over by JD and we'll get them up to us. And then as we get there on the agenda, we will allow you to speak on that. There's one. Perfect. Okay. Moving on.
This is the time, place, and date set for a public hearing to consider a lease agreement for 200 acres of paved grounds located at the Ottumwa Regional Airport to Calvin Van Genderen.
That's it.
Is that all? For $6,000 annually for a term of 3 years.
I would open the public hearing and I will throw it to you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The current hay ground at the Ottumwa Regional Airport is set to expire at the end of this year, December 31st. We've accepted bids for the last few weeks. Last Wednesday on the 13th, we opened bids at 2 p.m. We had one successful bidder that filled in as a bid for this. It was a current hay farm that we already had. This lease that we're doing this time is gonna be for a 3-year lease with a 2-year option if both parties agree. The reason why we do a lengthy lease like that is, and he would like to go longer, but I told him we're gonna limit it to 5 years, but, he spends a lot of money on fertilizer and tiling and stuff like that for his investment back into the land to get the good hay crop out that he has. He would like that, at least a 5-year lease, so we did a 3 and 2 if both parties agreed. His bid was $6,000 this time. The last time he was also a really bidder, and the last time it was $4,000. So it is an increase of $2,000, and we feel that's a $6,000 is a good hay bid for the next 5 years, hopefully. So the airport advisory board did approve this today, and we moved to do this if you allow. So
And this is a 3-year lease, correct?
3-year with a 2-year option.
Okay.
Any other questions or any questions for JD?
And $6,000 per year?
Per year.
Okay, thank you.
And will it be, if the 2-year option is granted by both parties, it will remain 6,000?
Yes.
Any other questions from the council? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this? Okay. Hearing none, I'll ask the council one more time if they have anything else. And then do you have anything else?
No, I mean, the only guy is, like I said, he has a lot of expense in it. And I know years ago, there was some leases that was a little bit higher, but they weren't putting the money back in the land like he has.
Perfect.
I mean, he runs a very professional business, and every time he puts fertilizer down, it's around $30,000 just to put the fertilizer down. It's usually good for 3 to 4 years, so.
Great, thank you. And again, I commend you on continuing to find ways to bring money into your.
We try.
Hearing none, no further questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Sorry.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Resolution number 254/2024, authorizing a lease agreement with Calvin Van Genderen for 200 acres of paved ground located at the Ottumwa Regional Airport for $6,000 annually for a term of 3 years, commencing on March 1st, 2025. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 254/2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
We have no ordinances tonight or departmental board or commission recommendation reports, so we're gonna move on to resolutions.
Resolution number 251/2024, authorizing fiscal year 25 first quarter transfers as submitted by finance. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 251/2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Vicky?
The resolution approves the quarterly budgeted fund transfers for September 30th, 2024, and we are required by the state of Iowa to pass it by resolution whenever we make those fund transfers. And if anybody has any questions on any of the transfers?
Are there questions on the transfers that were provided in the, packet?
The only question I had is, I don't know what some of the abbreviations are, like the ARPA.
Oh, that's the American Rescue Plan. That was from COVID. And the funds will be expended completely this year. We got it in two separate payments. I believe in 2020 and 2021, or maybe 21 or 22. And then we had to have them allocated by the end of this year, and then spent by the end of 2026. So we're on target for that, for those to be spent. Right now, they are being allocated, the bulk of them, of what's left is being allocated towards the renovation of City Hall.
Well, is there a way we can get, kind of like a key of all those abbreviations?
I can do that.
Well, if I was, more if you had one, I don't need you.
Yeah, well, no, do I have one? No, but it's easy enough to create one. So, the EE benefits is employee benefits, of course, local, loss is local option sales tax. And GF is general fund.
Perfect, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay, hearing none. Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Resolution number 266/2024, designating depositories for city monies and city funds not to exceed the sums indicated per financial institution. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 266/2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Move the recommendation. Second.
The resolution modifies resolution 121/2024 by increasing the deposit limit for Iowa State Bank to 18 million. Iowa State is offering a high yield savings account with a rate that is close to the rate of iPay, and I believe today they're actually exceeding that by a little bit. The ISB rate is guaranteed, though subject to change. So as the Fed changes their interest rate, it might fluctuate, but right now it's guaranteed. And iPay rates will fluctuate from day to day. So this gives us a little more stability, takes some funds and puts it into a local institution that they can use locally here to provide loans.
Any questions?
And I always like the idea of using, keeping as much more money available for the community as possible. These loans.
I was gonna ask too, if this was a local bank, and then I remembered they're building a new area, but then they have their little.
Right.
pilot shop.
Yeah, they're right now they're in the kind of the strip mall. But they're out of the actual home office, I believe, is out of Fairfield. So it's It's more local than some of the national banks.
Yes,
are.
for sure.
So,
And I would agree with Councilperson Reed. I'd like to see our money stay local as much as we can. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Resolution number 267, 2024, removing special assessments applied to 419 South Foster, contained in multiple resolutions from 2003 to 2021. I was not playing bingo this time. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 267, 2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Move the recommendation.
Okay.
Zach?
All right, thank you. This is a continuation of a conversation we had at the last council meeting. Eddie Paxton's attempting to acquire the tax sale deed to the property at 914 South Foster. It's directly south of his home. The parcel has $14,272.88 in taxes due for special assessments, including the demolition, but also mowing, between 2003 and 2023. And that assessment has accumulated $16,387 in interest and administrative costs. Mr. Paxton, doesn't have a plan to develop the parcel. He just wants to keep clean it up and maintain it as some part of his property. The city has had to continue to mow it, including this year. We had a conversation at the last meeting about whether Mr. Paxton would be amenable to paying some of the assessments. I met with him directly after the meeting. He feels like the value of the lot for him is pretty minimal, and it'd be really hard for him to justify paying very much. Of the assessments, he also is going to have to pay a settlement amount with the county for the back to property taxes. And what he offered to do was to pay the 2003 mowing assessment, which was $350 for mowing, $74 for interest, $9 in administrative costs, for a total of $433. And then he's asked us to still waive the rest of the assessments. So it's a pretty small amount of what was there, but it would put a little bit of skin in the game, and it would also be similar to what he would pay if it was a city-owned vacant lot that had no assessments on it. So we feel like that's at least, going in that direction. Obviously, we don't want to write off the large amount of the assessment, but we also don't really think if he is going to have to pass on, it's pretty unlikely that anybody's going to want it. And we'll have to continue to mow it for future seasons.
Any comments?
I agree with Mr. Paxton because I think he's generous to offer to pay for the 2003. That's probably when he was first interested in it. And then he shouldn't be held accountable for what, 20 years? Yeah. If we don't agree with this, then no one else will do it either.
We're just gonna keep putting money into it.
Right.
And I would identify too, that I think it's a pretty fair price for, a lot that's going to be not developed. So I just want to make sure that, going forward, that we kind of, I don't know, kind of are, again, not setting precedences where we're, picking and choosing which ones, we're waiving and we're not waiving. So, the idea of a lot that waiving fees for a lot that's going to be developed and we get some, money back or some, future income on that, I think then that makes sense to be able to waive those fees too. But then looking at like lots that aren't going to be developed, having some kind of idea of paying something on that instead of waiving all those fees.
I like the idea of Mr. Paxton getting the lot, and he does a good job on his personal property. I'm glad he takes an interest in the area, and I'm sure he'll take good care of the lot. Obviously, it's a pretty old, clean lot really right now, but I'm in favor of this.
And I asked Zach at the last meeting if he would talk to Mr. Paxton, try to negotiate a reasonable payment. And I think under the circumstances, you have done that. He has agreed to do that. And if we get it off the city rolls, we don't have to keep mowing grass, and paying taxes on property we already own. So I think it's a good deal. I'd go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate Mr. Paxton working with us on it as well. He's been really good to work with on this and some other issues recently. And hopefully he can decide if he wants to take a couple council meetings off after this one. He's been a regular feature, and we appreciate having him here too.
Great. Any other questions, comments? Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Resolution number 268, 2024, accepting the bid of $18,525 with insulation replacement of $4 per square foot to Hawkeye Flat Roof Solutions LLC for the WPCF Lower Building Re-roofing Project. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 268, 2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Approve the recommendation.
Second.
This is simply a re-roofing project. We did send out nine quotes. We had 3 return. The lowest was $18,525. The other 2 are in the $33,000 range. We have actually had this organization come in and roof, the north lift station at the airport. So we have had experience with them. They've come back and they've made repairs. There's a 20-year warranty on this. And there's still money left over in the CIP.
Great, I was just gonna ask that question, where's the money coming from?
Coming from the CIP, it's been rolled over for a couple of years, so we're kind of happy to get this project taken care of and keep moving.
Any questions? Okay. Hearing none, Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Resolution number 269, 2024, establishing a rental fee and damage deposit for the Boy Scout building. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 269, 2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Dean?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city of Ottumwa recently took possession of the Boy Scout building in Ottumwa Park. Parks employees have cleaned the interior and painted the exterior. The Parks Department intends to begin renting this building to the public in 2025. On November 12, 2024, the Ottumwa Parks Advisory Board approved a rental fee of $100 per day and a $100 deposit for the Boy Scout building. This building has electricity, a refrigerator, a stove, and water nearby.
Questions or comments?
I have talked with Gene about this building. It has very limited parking, which is a distraction for it. The only parking is in front of the TP building is there. And the fee, I think, is a little high. You can always adjust it next year if you get a good renter. But I would like to see it rent, not set. So I'm suggesting that $100 a day is excessive.
I guess I would push back a little bit on that, just because I know, that there are people that are looking for a building like that and they're paying far more than that for, a full day of stuff too, so. And with the amenities of the electricity, the refrigerator, the stove, I mean, yeah, I would say that it's pretty fair.
I actually agree, it's pretty fair too. It's especially in a location where there's surrounding things, I mean, the park and different things. I think that's very fair.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre,
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway,
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 270, 2024, setting the date for a public hearing on the proposal to convey interest in real property to the Iowa Department of Transportation. Recommendation pass and adopt resolution number 270, 2024.
Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Zach?
Thank you. This resolution relates to the Highway 149 project that the DOT will be giving the presentation on. They require a temporary easement to access the city property as part of that work. The easement will affect areas directly around the central fire station. We don't have the start date for the project yet. We hope we learn a lot more about what that impact will be like in the next few weeks, but we did get a promise from them that they give quite a bit of advance notice for anything that's gonna disrupt the fire station so that they can make their plans accordingly for how they're gonna handle possible loss of access to those areas. So, they will compensate the city $100 for the easement. That's what they've determined to be the fair value.
Questions and comments for Zach?
And this resolution, I should say, just sets the date for the public hearing at the next meeting to actually approve the easement. This resolution there'll still be more conversation next meeting.
Great, so there will be more information provided to us to understand more about it. Perfect.
What is their intention to do with that area?
I know that they intend to do some sidewalk replacement, because I think they have to change some grading around the central fire station as it goes up to the highway.
The sidewalk next to the highway there is on our property, so they're gonna replace the sidewalk. And they need a easement to be able to go on there and replace the sidewalk as part of their highway
Okay,
project.
next to the highway, you're talking about the down ramp, or you're talking about beside the fire station?
Beside the fire station.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, Chris?
Councilmember McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh?
Yes.
Councilmember Reed?
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway?
Yes.
Councilmember Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay. This is, the next on the agenda is our public forum, and we do have one person, but prior to calling him up, I will have Chris read our statement.
We now open our public forum portion of the agenda. We would invite anyone in the audience who has completed a citizen input request form or others who would like to address the council to step up to the podium, state your name and address so that I can capture it for the minutes. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes to allow sufficient time for all those interested in addressing the council and to ensure all of their agenda items receive attention in an efficient manner. City council members appreciate hearing from our citizens. Keep in mind, if the item or items you wish to discuss are not shown on the agenda for tonight's meeting, it cannot be discussed. City council members can request that your item be placed on an upcoming agenda or connect you with the appropriate city personnel to assist. You may also contact city council members before or after meetings, or you can find our contact information on the city website.
Perfect. Okay, we have one today. Mr. Torres, if you want to come up to the podium and state your name and your address for us. And then, once you get done, say your name and address, perhaps we'll start your time.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Yaspir Torres. I live at 545 Ray Street. And I'm here to do a complaint, or I witnessed okay, never mind, it's going blank. An incident that occurred last night or afternoon, but as it's getting dark, you think it's night, right? So last night, and I will not mention the business, this was, because I don't think they're at fault. But I witnessed a contractor who was removing asbestos illegally, and this is environmentally hazard. And I'm not only here just to let you know, I did record it, and I do have recording of this. And I think it should be looked on. And if you guys, I think I gave Jake Rush the video of the incident, and yeah. I'm just concerned for the public safety and the environment, because it's asbestos removal is very, delicate on doing that type of part. And I know he does a lot of that for the city.
Okay.
So if you guys need or require the video, just let me know who to give it to. I know, like I said, I already sent it to Jake, but hopefully you guys take notes and take care of the issue. Other than that, pretty much.
Perfect. So yeah, if you would, make sure that you send it, I know you said you send it to Jake, but can you make sure that Zach Simonson also receives that too? And then Zach, will forward it to you. Send it to you if needed. Great, okay. Thank
Do
you.
you guys need the name or anything, or do I just give it to him?
Okay, go ahead.
So you can just, talk with Zach about that and get the information.
Yeah, and send it to him in an email with the video and the name and what you saw too. So just so it's very detailed and provided to Zach.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that would like to, any other comments? Okay.
I just wondered how the mayor was doing. Somebody talked to him recently. You ready to kick any footballs or anything?
I don't think he'll be kicking any balls anytime soon, but he is on the road to recovery. And so we're hoping to see him back in December. So, next up is our mayor and city council reports and communications. And councilperson Cavanagh had something he did want to identify.
I need to make an apology this evening. When I was on the radio Monday, I made the statement that the Ottumwa Hospital would no longer be accepting the Aetna Insurance Company. And it was brought to my attention that I read the big type across the top that says your hospital is leaving our network. But I didn't read the smaller type down at the bottom that said Mercy Medical Center in Centerville. So obviously that created a lot of confusion. I talked to Mr. Kiefer today from the hospital and told him that I would make an effort to apologize publicly so that the people who see and or hear this meeting will know that that's not the case. The hospital is in the network, will continue to provide the service, and I have great regret for not clearly reading the letter that I received from Aetna. And I would even mention that I called them and asked them why they are not providing service to the hospital. And they said because they're no longer in it, they don't want to provide an agreement to the network. So I'm thinking they were a little confused. I know I was. And so anyway, the actual statement I want to make is the Ottumwa Hospital is going to and will continue to be in the network for Aetna and other insurance companies that they service. And my apologies for putting out erroneous information.
Thank you. I would also just comment that we do have quite a few things going on in the next couple weeks. This weekend, the OCCP, so the Ottumwa Children's Community Playhouse, thank you, is performing their holiday play. And so that will be here at Bridgeview Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then also on Thanksgiving at 10 p.m. is when or 10 a.m., not p.m. 10 a.m. is when the holiday train will be here in Ottumwa, and the program will start at 10 on Thanksgiving, but come before because Santa's making an appearance. There will be cookies and hot chocolate. Again, that's on Thanksgiving at 10 a.m. And then also the following weekend, so that first weekend in December, Main Street Ottumwa is having their Home for the Holidays event where they're going to have the shops open and events going on Friday and Saturday. It's really fun. There will be caroling, there will be kids activities. The Polar Express will be playing at the train depot. It'll be a lot of fun for the family. The clubhouse, don't go to the clubhouse, not the train station. Thank you. Anything else from council?
Just one real quick update on, I went to a water board meeting tonight. Still some exciting things going on there. And they're still working hard on the project in hand, and they did give a shout out to Phil and his crew. They needed some information and they need somebody to work with them. Phil, you got the information, you and your staff got it to them real quick. Allowed them to do some other things. So they had a shout out for you and your team. So thank you for that. Everything's still going good for that. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Great. Okay. If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the city council meeting.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Councilmember McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilmember Cavanagh?
Yes.
Councilmember Reed?
Yes.
Councilmember Galloway?
Yes,
Councilmember Hoffman?
Yes.
the city council meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you, sir.